Hello guys, welcome. Welcome to Asutosh Coaches. And now today we are going to start the chapter name is transport and implants. पहला है हमारा, देखो यहाँ पे दे रखा है ट्रांसलोकेशन क्या होता है? द ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ द सब्सटेंस इन द प्लांट ओवर अ लॉन्गर डिस्टेंस थ्रू द वेस्कुलर xylem phloem is called translation. Means of transport of material into and output and out of the cell is carried out by the number of method, and these are diffused, facilitated diffusion, and the active transport. Diffusion the diffusion occurs from the higher concentration to the region of lower concentration across the permeable membrane, and it is passive and slow process and no energy expenditure takes place. Facilitated diffusion क्या होता है? the diff- the diffusion of hydraulic substance along the concentration of gradient and through the fixed membrane transport protein and without involving energy and expenditure is called the facilitated diffusion. And therefore this membrane possesses the aquaporine and ions channel, and no energy is utilized in this processes. Method of the facilitated diffusion. Okay, उसके बाद देखा जाए some carriers of or transport proteins allow the diffusion only if two types of molecules moves together. First, symport, antiport and the uniport. Symport क्या होता है? Both molecules across the membrane in the same direction. Both molecules move in the opposite direction, and one molecule moves across and the cell membrane. Okay. Active transport क्या होता है? Active transport is carried by the movable carrier protein pumps of the membrane, and active transport uses the energy to the pump molecules against a concentration and the gradient from a low concentration to the high concentration. You feel transport, and it is faster than the passive transport. Water potential क्या होता है? The water molecules possesses the kinetic energy, and the great concentration of water in a xylem, and the greater is its kinetic energy of or water potential. Okay, pure water has the highest water potential. Water always moves from the higher water to the lower water potential, and water potential is denoted by the W and the psi and okay psi, and measured in the Pascal PA. And water potential of the cell is affected by the solute potential size. Okay, and the potential psi p and the psi w and the psi s and the psi p. Water potential of pure water at the surround standard temperature, which is not under any pressure, is taken to be zero and by the convention. Plasmolysis क्या होता है? Process of shrinkage of protoplasm in a cell due to the exomosis and in hypertonic solution. The turgor pressure of plant cell in the hypertonic solution and water entered into the due to the endosmosis and the cytoplasm exert the pressure and against the cell wall called turgor pressure. The ambination is the phenomena of absorption of water or any other liquid by the solute particles of substance without forming a solution. Some example of invasion: it is a dry piece of wood and placed in water. It swells and increases in its volume. If dry gums or a piece of agar are in the placed water, and when they swell and their volume increases, and when the seeds are placed in the water they swell up. Long distance transport of water. Mass flow. The mass flow is the movement of the substance, water, minerals, and the food, and is bulk and from one point to the another as a result of pressure of difference between two points. Translation क्या होता है? The bulk movement of the substance through the conducting or vasculatory tissue and is called translation. How do the plant absorb water? Water is absorbed by the water root hair, and then water moves up to xylem and by the two pathway apoplast and कहाँ चला गया ये सिन प्लास्ट था ठीक है लास्ट. Now हम जानेंगे एपोप्लास्ट पाथवे क्या होता है. द मूवमेंट ऑफ वाटर टेक्स प्लेस एक्सक्लूसिवली through the intercellular spaces and the walls of cell, and the movement through the apoplast does not involve the crossing the membrane. The movement depends on the gradient, and the apoplast does not provide by any barrier to the water movement. Water movement is through the mass flow symplast pathway. System of interconnected protoplast and the neighboring cell are connected through the cytoplasmic strand, and that the extend and through the plasmodesmata. The water enters into the cytoplasm and by the crossing the plasma membrane, and the intercellular movement is through the plasmodesmata. Caspian strip. Endo- Endodermis is impervious to water because of a branch subsidized matrix is called Caspian strip. Water movement of plant. Okay, movement of plant. Okay, now हम लोग जानेंगे इसमें रूट प्रेशर क्या होता है. A hydrostatic pressure existing in the root and which pushes the water and push water up into the xylem present and the guttation. The water loss in its phase at night and the early morning through the special opening and when near tips of leaves, and the transpiration pool. The transport of water of the tops of trees occurs through the xylem vessel, and the force of adhesion and the cohesion and maintains thin unbroken column of water in the capillaries of xylem vessel, and through which it travels upward, and water is mainly pulled by transpiration from leaves cohesion and the tension transpiration and pull mode. Transpiration क्या होता है? Loss of water through the stomata of leaves and other aerial part of plant in the form of water vapor, and transpiration driven and ascent of xylem sap depend on the following physical property of water. कोहेशन क्या होता है? म्यूचुअल इंटरफोर्स बिटवीन द मॉलिक्यूल्स. एडेसिव फोर्स क्या होता है? अट्रैक्शन बिटवीन द मॉलिक्यूल्स. पोलर सरफेस एंड such as surface trachyate and surface water molecules attract to the each other in the liquid phase more than in the water and in the gas phase. Roles of transpiration: create the transpiration pool for the absorption and transport and for the plant, and supply water of the photos for the photosynthesis, and the transport minerals from the soil to all parts of plant, and the cool leaf surface sometimes 5 to 10 to 15 degree and by the evaporative cooling, and the maintain the shape and the structure of the plant be keeping cell turgid. Factor affecting transpiration: The temperature and light, humidity, wind speed, and the number and distribution of stomata, water statue of the plant. Okay, इसे स्टैचू ऑफ द प्लांट भी कहते हैं, और तो कुछ है नहीं. Uptake and the transport of mineral nutrients. Ions are absorbed by the root by the passive and the active transport. The active uptake of ions requires ATP energy and the specific proteins in the membrane of root hair cell actively pump ions from the soil into the cytoplasm of epidermal cell and then xylem. The further transport of ion of to all parts of plants is carried through the transpiration steam. देखो ये लास्ट है हमारा द प्रेशर ऑफ मास फ्लो हाइपोथेसिस क्या होता है. द ग्लूकोज इज सेपरेटेड बाय द एट द सोर्स बाय द process of photosynthesis and converted to sucrose, and this sugar is then moved into the sieve tube cell by the active transport, and it produces hypertonic condition in the phloem. Water in the adjacent xylem moves into the phloem by the osmosis, and due to osmosis trigger pressure and the phloem sap moves into the area of low pressure. At the sink, osmotic pressure is decreased and the incoming sugar is actively transported out of the phloem and removed at the complex dehydrated sucrose. As the sugar is removed, osmotic pressure decreases and the water moves out of the phloem and returns to the xylem. So guys, thanks for watching video till the end, and you are a part of journey of neet. For thanks to watching video till the end, and don't forget to subscribe जितना हो सके as you can, जितना हो सके like share subscribe करें. Bye bye and see you in next video.